It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Waking Up with Wesley is sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. So, did you know that this week is National Lightning Safety Week? And today we're going to cover a few tips, facts, and a little trivia format about lightning. Plus, we'll take a look at the forecast into the week ahead, closing in on the official start of summer, Friday, the Summer Solstice. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Are you ready to play some lightning trivia? We'll do a real quick lightning round of 5 questions. So let's take a look at question number 1. And if you watch Good Morning Mississippi, you might know some of the answers to these. We did cover them earlier, but we'll do it again for you on Waking Up with Wesley. So what is the recommended amount of time you should wait after the last thunder or lightning before going back outside? Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or as soon as the rain stops? I'll give you 10 seconds to lock in your answers. How long should you wait until that last boom of thunder? Got your answers? All right, well, the correct answer is C, 30 minutes. Bill actually got this one right when we played during GMM. So news strikes can actually, if you didn't know this, still happen even when a thunderstorm has actually moved on. So that could happen miles away from that thunderstorm on the back edge of the storm. And that's why it can be a little tricky, and you do need to wait a little bit longer because lightning can strike up to about 10 miles away from a given storm. All right, here's another question for you. Question number 2. What causes the sound that we hear as thunder? Is it the collision of raindrops in the cloud when those raindrops are running into each other? Does that make the sound of thunder? Or what about when the air is quickly rushing in to fill a vacuum left by the lightning? Or is it the rapid expansion of heated air caused by a lightning bolt? Or is it the friction between positively and negatively charged particles? Which answer is it? Got 10 seconds to lock in your answer. That rumble of thunder. What exactly is it caused by? And the correct answer is C, again. Bill got this one right too during GMM. Hopefully you got it right as well. So it's the rapid expansion of heated air. Did you know that as lightning passes through the air, it can heat the air to around 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hotter than the sun's surface? And that process causes a rapid expansion of air, which causes a shock wave that we hear as thunder. All right, question 3. True or false? Is it dangerous to touch someone, or it is dangerous to touch someone who's been struck by lightning because they carry an electrical charge? True or false? 10 seconds. Someone just got struck by lightning. Can you touch them? Is it safe? And the answer is false. It is not dangerous, so it is safe. So the answer is false, and it's because, lightning victims, they actually don't carry a charge. One explanation is that they are grounded, so that charge, that current went through them, and now it's gone. So people who are struck by lightning, it is safe to immediately provide them medical help, including CPR or defibrillation. Of course, that can save lives. All right, question 4. We're almost done here. Which U.S. state typically has the most cloud-to-ground lightning strikes a year? Is it Texas, Florida, Louisiana, or Oklahoma? 10 seconds to lock in your answer. Which state? The most cloud-to-ground lightning strikes per year. Well, the correct answer is A, Texas. Now, it's on a technicality because everything's bigger in Texas, including the size of the state. It's got more square footage, more square miles for lightning to strike in the Lone Star State. Let me give you the little details here. Read the bottom. Mainly due to its size, Texas leads the nation with 2.9 million strikes in a typical year. Second place is Florida with 1.2 million. Third place, Oklahoma. They get that severe weather in the plains, 1.1 million. Now, by density, Florida actually leads Texas. They get 21 strikes per square mile versus Texas's 11 strikes per square mile. So that square mileage there is why you would imagine Florida is the one. Even though surprisingly Texas takes it when you ignore the per square mile. All right, last question. What activity has contributed most to U.S. lightning fatalities over the last 20 years? Is it roofing, golf, yard work, or fishing? 10 seconds to lock in that answer. Which of these activities is contributing most to those fatalities, lightning fatalities? Got it? Well, here's a look at the correct answer. It is actually D, fishing. Now, all of the ones that you see listed there are actually a part of what the National Lightning Safety Council refers to as the deadly dozen. There's a group of like 12 activities that are the deadliest out of all outdoor activities, and all 4 of those are in that top 12 list. So even though you can see that fishing is the number 1, those other 3 are also in the top 12. And then finally, some details. While fun and a way of life for many, fishing often puts people far away from safe shelter and very close to water and metal, which conduct electricity and can increase lightning danger. So hopefully you got most of those right. I'm sure you did. If you watched us during GMM, you kind of had a little cheat code there. But thanks for playing this edition of Lightning Trivia on Waking Up with Wesley. So let's get to the forecast here. So today, it is going to be a day that features lightning. We've already seen lightning earlier this morning in Jackson County. They had a thunderstorm there, and we tracked it during Good Morning Mississippi. And it's going to be that again today. That pattern has not really changed very much. You can kind of almost call it the Bermuda pump pattern. What do we mean by that? Bermuda high pressure system. It's sitting off toward the east. I'll mark it here on the map. You know where there's a high pressure, wherever the wind is going clockwise. And you can see it out here, this clockwise circulation, right about like that. And where's the island of Bermuda? Right there. So the Bermuda High, it's a high pressure system, a big one that sits there every year reliably near the island of Bermuda. And if we mark it right there, remember, winds go clockwise around high pressure, and so with that clockwise wind, it's helping to pull the moisture from the Gulf our way. That's why it feels so steamy every morning here on the Mississippi coast, and that moisture makes it easy for rain to develop. Last couple of days we've tapped into a few heavy downpours, and some places have picked up over an inch or 2 of rain. Perhaps today the rain amount could be just a smidge lighter because we are beginning to see high pressure increasing across our region, at least upstairs in the air. And that's going to be a gradual transition toward the end of the week when we have a much stronger high pressure ridge located just north of us, which could help to unlock a lower rain chance pattern for our local area, although it might actually help the temperatures to increase a little bit too. So this reliable pattern with those pop-up storms, watch them pop up like popcorn. There they go, pop, pop, pop as we go to the afternoon. You can see them all across parts of the Gulf Coast region right there in that zone in eastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, western Florida Panhandle. That's what their computer model is showing, those popping up. And they'll kind of be carried along various boundaries, whether it's a sea breeze boundary, an outflow boundary from a thunderstorm. That will determine exactly where we see those thunderstorms developing in random locations as they are kind of drifting northward during the PM hours. So if you have some plans to be out and about, just know that Wednesday PM does carry that potential for those pop-up storms in random locations. But notice the information here. If we blow that up on the screen for you, you can see a dark green color in parts of South Mississippi. We can get a soaking rain in a few spots today. Tomorrow, a yellow color. Maybe the rain gets a little bit heavier at times in a few spots on Thursday and Thursday night. And then look at this. It's kind of more spaced out as we go to Friday. And then look at the light green color on Saturday and Sunday, light green. So that means the potential for rain is pretty light over the weekend, which, by the way, will be the first weekend of summer. We're counting down the days to the official start of summer, and now we're just 2 days away. Summer officially begins Friday. Technically, the moment that changes the season from spring to summer is known as the summer solstice. And that moment will be at 9:42 p.m. Central Time. That will be the moment that the sun is angled directly over the Tropic of Cancer, which is a line of latitude in the northern hemisphere. It's about as far north as the sun can be angled. And that is what officially ushers in the summer season and brings us the longest day of the year. Now, it will still be a 24-hour long day, like every day basically, but it has more daylight. It has the greatest duration of daylight. So today we get a sunrise. We had a sunrise at 5:54. We've got a sunset around 8 p.m., at least in parts of Gulfport. So that brings you a day length of 14 hours and 6 minutes. But once we get to Friday, that official start of summer, you get 14 hours and 7 minutes of daylight. Woo! So on a technicality, it's the longest day of the year by that length of daylight. And yeah, that's one special thing about the summer solstice. But I got to tell you, once you are at the top, it's only downhill from there. So every day, starting Friday, every day after that is going to get a little bit shorter and shorter each day until we close in on winter season coming up in December. So these long days of summer, they're going to hit a peak here Friday before we see that gradual decrease during the second half of the year. So something to look forward to. Make plans to, enjoy that longer amount of daylight on Friday. Generally, the rain chance could be a little bit lower, so maybe you'll have more opportunity to enjoy that outdoors. We'll see over the weekend, again, a slight decrease in that rain chance. This time of year, that just means it could get even hotter. I'm happy to report that the high pressure that will build across the East U.S. won't do it right on top of Mississippi's coast. So that means we will probably be spared from the brunt of the maximum heat from this heat dome. We're going to kind of be on the southern edge of it. So that means we kind of get near normal temperatures, maybe slightly above normal temperatures, and our rain chances don't plummet all the way to zero. They do decrease, but they don't go all the way to zero. So we're seeing lighter rain for the upcoming weekend, the first weekend of summer. Well, I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.
Waking Up with Wesley has been sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.